All right, hello, folks. We are coming at you with Weaverdice Flagstaff. This is Prim, also known as Aaron.
I'm Clark. You might know me from such hits as Scary Spider-Man Christmas and the 2008 Beyonce album tour thing. One of those is a lie.
Hey, I'm Sierra. I'm not creative.
This is a bold-faced lie.
Hi, I'm James, also known as Hummus, as you'll probably hear most people call me, because I am in fact a delicious snack that is made mainly of chickpeas and a whole bunch of other spices.
Should post the face of you with like the Cadova thing to the Weaverdice chat.
Oh god, that photo will haunt people's nightmares.
Yes, it will.
I'm on it.
I'm Ben, and I am either nightmarishly tall or have an inferiority complex based on how short I am in actuality, and you'll never know.
It's okay then. We understand.
And this is our fourth episode of Weaverdice Flagstaff. If you are watching these in the future, due to recording, you might know that there's no actual episode 3, and I want to start off by taking full responsibility for this blunder. We are all new to Twitch, me especially, and so our recording got corrupted, and there's no simple way around it, but we are going to do our best to recap, to alleviate that, and keep you all up to date on the shenanigans that happened in between the police robbery and whatever is going to happen today, I suppose. I'd also like to mention that we have migrated to using the Parahumans Discord. I'd like to thank Wildbow and all of the mods for helping set it up, especially all of those who worked to make our wonderful bots. Smiley, who we're using right now to simulate all the classic IRC stuff. We really couldn't run this game without those bots that really help with all the complicated rolling processes. Although I am sad that my own personal and proper wasn't able to get up to it. But in my defense, I don't know anything about Java, so it was better that someone else stepped up and did something.
He's more of a tea drinker.
Yeah, clearly. Well, I'll end that, and I'll let you all take it away and recap us on what happened last time on Weaverdice Flagstaff. I believe you had all just finished breaking one of your members out of a police station.
And robbing.
The police station and then shooting at children. So,
I didn't shoot at children.
I shot at children.
You shot at children?
Was I?
Oh, that's right. You shot at children.
Yes.
I shot at a ward.
yes, you shot at Helios, a local ward. That had interesting
Consequences.
yes, for your sanity, for your stability. So what happened after that?
Oh boy. So we went briefly back to. Oh god, I can't remember the name.
The Citadel.
Yeah, the Citadel. And then we were like, hey, we should maybe figure out a plan. And then the plan involved going back and shutting down the saw that Shebaru left behind.
Yes, because Cheveru got killed, so their saw
Session
was
one.
still going.
Yeah, and it was blown up by, what's your friendo's name?
Steve.
Yeah, Steve flew it up. And then we encountered Hunger Strike.
You also encountered Totem Pole, didn't you?
Totem
Yes.
Pole and
And Hunger Strike.
No, we counted a third person. Yeah.
No, it was just you. You had an inkling that something weird was going on because some of you thought you saw things behind people's heads, but you met Totem Pole, who was very irate that you were there and that
We were threatened with Thunderstruck.
yes, he threatened to call Thunderstruck. You also got pictures from Melody of everybody at the bunker, which is the other location, somewhere in that general vicinity. But you met Hunger Strike, you met Totem Pole, and you know that the people in the bunker is Thunderstruck, Totem Pole, Pest, and Restless, because War Crimes was able to point those ones out to you via the picture that Melody took.
Mm-hmm.
with Philosopher King's help. So what's your impression of Totem Pole and Hunger Strike? They're very interesting characters, aren't they?
I love Hunger Strike. Hunger Strike, if you're listening, I love you.
Hunger Strike's
I know
great.
you are.
Is Hunger Strike listening, or is Hunger Strike talking to everyone in front of the camera 24/7?
Yeah,
Okay, that's
that
true.
one.
Yes. Hunger Strike is a very
Very busy man.
magnanimous personality, to say the least. Comes off, sort of like a mix of Mr. Rogers and a WWE star. Very up front in the camera. And this stems from the fact that he's an Indian hot cape by trade who moved to the States. I believe you learned that too last session. So he was fun, and he seemed to want to fight, but he went about it in a very different way than I think what a lot of you are used to.
And after fighting, he didn't like apprehend us or anything. He just
taught us a lesson.
Learned
Well,
from
yep,
us.
I learned my lesson.
and then
Yes.
started lecturing to the camera.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
So but you definitely lost some face there because who was it? It was Triple Crown. Triple Crown went up, did the duel, and learned that crime doesn't pay. Maybe.
Yep, I learned that crime does not pay.
We also, in the midst of this, were able to use the wide-ranging broadcast to spread our new group name, the Accolades.
Yes, the
Whoa.
accolades. Which has now appeared on Monitor. So you are all you can jump on there and you can see that all of your rankings and whatnot have
I'm not on there.
been added up. Yes, you have not been added on there
What
yet.
rank was taken, Monitor? Was it
Oh
number
wait,
one?
No, he was not number 1. He is not on there anymore. It's been a little bit while, but with some research, you could probably figure that out. Asking the right people,
I mean,
asking
I am
the right questions.
technically still on there at number 9.
Wait, I could just go to waybackmachine.com and look for a time.
This is something you absolutely could do. Yes, you could absolutely do that. What else happened? So after all that, after you shut down the thing, you went back to Steve's apartment, and you rested up. You relaxed. You saw all the stuff.
Yes! I'm never going to do anything ever again so I can stay there.
Yes, I believe we're having a right laugh over Gold being at position 69 on the chart.
Which he would be very, very happy
Hey,
about.
Phosphor is also at 42, so this is just the best
Yeah.
week.
I got put down to like 89 because I fought.
Wait a
Hunger
second,
Strike.
what?
I used to be at 35, 36, and then I fought Hunger Strike, and then it was a bad idea.
Okay, I need to message.
Oh yeah, you're at 37 now.
I need to message.
Go for it.
Aaron.
Go for it. What else? So yeah, then you went off to investigate the frat house. How did that go?
Poorly.
Yeah.
So,
We got found by Patchwork, who is spoopy, but really cool. I don't know, I like her. She sort of makes quilt-like things out of copies of like people's limbs.
Allegedly.
No, it's definitely copies for ours at least. Hopefully it is copies for all of it because we did see Melody's face on there. For anyone who's new, Melody was a friend of ours who was a player character, but the player cannot play anymore.
We were told that it was not from death.
Yeah, she said that she didn't kill Melody.
That's fair.
But we also haven't heard from Melody for a while. Anywho, we rode on her weird human centipede, but that sounds wrong. Which was very interesting.
surprisingly smooth.
And then we arrived at the frat house where we walked in on an argument happening wherein people were mad at a lady who's all laboratory-like. What was her name?
Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher. They were saying, like, put it back or something like that, and she was like, nah, it's mine. And she opened up a bag to reveal a kid who was
my niece. And upon recognizing, I believe I said Rachel. Let me just quickly check to
Yep,
see that.
Rachel is
Rachel,
what you said.
Rachel. Upon recognizing Rachel, I said Rachel, and then the trigger event. That is the start of the trigger event.
Yes, and then we had a trigger event where we wrote up your trigger in real time. We're all very proud of that. And that was kind of our session. Yeah, so you've seen the people who are here in the frat house. You have you know, kind of just reminding you have this Dreamcatcher who's kind of dressed in you know, it reminds you kind of maybe of kind of a punk rock, or kind of in the vibe of like the Ramones or Jonah Jett, but it's like all white clothing, and it all kind of has this metallic sheen like those first generation iPods to it. So it kind of has that whole vibe going on, and she has this big scythe and this duffel bag, and you know, she stormed out and went into the garage. But there was also Embargo was there. He was only half dressed when you came in. He had he had pants on, but he only had the armor half. He has that armor that's barbed wire and chain link fence that's kind of in the shape of a knight, more or less. And you have there was someone else you didn't. There were two other people you didn't recognize. One of them was kind of wearing this skin tight suit that kind of had these cube images on it, and it had this one of those. It had he had the number 3 over some parts of it, but you know, he's a kind of short guy, really thin, really kind of bent forward, and almost looking kind of anemic. But you also notice that there's very clear parts of his body that it looks like someone just scooped out pieces with like a melon baller or something. So he doesn't look like he's having I mean, he's smiling, but it doesn't look like he's having a great time. You know what I mean? And then there was Patchwork, who is, you know, kind of wearing this. She's wearing this like patchwork quilt style get up, and her hair is like all over the place. Like, it kind of reminds you of that one picture of like Albert Einstein. You know, the one with like the tongue sticking out, like it's kind of all over the place. She kind of looks like a crazy cat lady, but with limbs instead of cats.
And a literal human centipede.
Yes, and a literal human centipede. Which is
Done a little differently than the one we all know.
Yes.
Very, very differently.
Whether that's better or worse, I'll leave up to the viewer to decide. But in any case, let's jump back into the scene.
We need to roll to see if I break something.
Yes, well, let's first roll to see if Triple Crown's going to break anything with their life flaw today. They have a...
What am I rolling?
So this is our third session, so your chance, so it'll be a D100, and I believe it's a, remind me what your starting percentage was?
Oh, there we go. It's, so this is session 4, so,
So yeah, it'll be a 40% chance?
No.
Okay, what do we get?
76.
All right, so no craziness happening this time.
But next time it's a 50-50 shot.
Yep.
I might just not break anything this campaign.
Yep.
And then Aaron's like, nah, you're breaking your life.
You've already broken some stuff, and I like that you've played it up pretty good. So in any case, let's jump back in where we left off with destination, agreement, trajectory, agreement. All right, what do we do? You see the scene, the scene fades, you're left all kind of sensing that something has changed. You all recognize that Steve is different. Everybody else immediately starts kind of, all your heads hurt. There's pain, it's a flash, and then you kind of lose track of whatever it was that you saw, what you heard, and you're kind of more focused on, there's some sort of shift. And you can recognize, but all you know is that Steve has somehow changed all of a sudden. And Steve, you realize there's a figure standing directly behind you.
Look over my shoulder.
Yeah, you see this. It looks like a human made out of black clouds, with kind of little shots of electricity dancing through it, kind of highlighting it. And the whole thing kind of has a gleam like it's wrapped in saran wrap. What do you do?
Okay.
Okay, what the fuck's happening here?
Did my drugs just like not wear off yet or something, or like did y'all feeling something funky?
Holy fuck, I got a head. Anyone here else here got a headache? Cause
Yep.
I feel like this didn't happen the last time I took cocaine.
I didn't take any cocaine, and I feel it too. It's not the cocaine.
I don't do drugs personally, but yeah, I don't think
I'm
cocaine
going
would do
to
this.
look over at Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher, you see the back of Dreamcatcher as she goes into the garage. She has Rachel just kind of under one arm and just kind of goes in. You can kind of see inside the room a little bit. It looks like kind of someone set it up as a workshop before the door closes.
I'm gonna like turn to the people in the room that we don't know very well and be like, all right, I'm just gonna say it. That's fucked up.
Embargo kind of folds his arms and nods, and this guy, this kind of anemic looking dude that looks seriously injured. I mean, he doesn't look like injured now, but it looks like you can kind of tell that he's got something going on. He's kind of like, I mean, yeah, it's like super fucked up, but it's kind of it's her thing. It's like really hard to deal with her when she gets this way, and it's not it's more hassle than it's worth. I would just recommend
That's one of my friend's daughters.
Oh. Well,
Mind if we grab her?
I wouldn't recommend it.
You're not gonna stop us though if we try.
I'd help you if you tried, but I wouldn't recommend it. Embargo's like, I don't think you should do that. This is, I don't know if you know what kind of place this is, but
Is there a way we could try and talk?
You could try to talk to Dreamcatcher. I'm not sure how much luck you'll have, but you could try. It's kind of her thing. I don't know. I can't explain it very well. Yes. I don't know. It's weird. It's like
Get the door.
Yeah.
No, I don't say this to you. I say this to the figure over my shoulder.
Oh.
yeah. So
That's
to
fucking new.
yeah. So the figure starts walking forward and closes the distance to the door pretty quickly. You can all see that it's this knight that
Steve,
the image looks like this knight.
Get rid of the gun now.
Steve, you've been holding out on me.
The others start moving. They all suddenly see this figure. Embargo starts moving back and positioning himself. Patchwork whistles, and you can see the collie is moving closer to the building and trying to fit its way through the door. Patchwork is also like, guys, I think we should all really slow back before we start fighting on neutral ground here. Come on.
Fine.
This isn't
I want the kid.
You're
Well-
dismissed. And the thing is going
yeah, it disappears.
I don't disagree about the whole being more careful about starting fights thing, but at the same time, I don't really care. That's a child, and it's a child that my friend is familiar with, and I'm not gonna just
I don't
let
think
this
we
be
like it when
fun.
Okay, hold on. Embargo says, "Who are all of you?"
Oh yeah, we're new.
He looks at Patchwork. Why'd you bring all these people
Police
here?
Phosphor.
Okay.
These are the accolades. We were the ones who broke into the police station, took what we wanted, and made our lovely little way back on home.
Okay.
I'm MVP.
I saw that.
Friends, Maelstrom.
I just grab the gun off your back and just throw it down. Not yours anymore.
Maelstrom? Aren't you that person who makes that
No.
paper storm?
No. Maelstrom is the other. This.
The shadow thing.
Yes, lightning.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Weird spelling.
Okay. That's all fine and good. You two?
Gold.
Triple crown.
Okay. I dig that. That's good. Okay. So you rob the police station. Now what are you doing here? Sorry, are you laying low?
We're like trying to, just
We're looking for our friend.
meet some people, get to know the area a little bit,
Move up on the lists, get some money.
Fame, fortune, and glory, all that,
Okay.
Also, what's about to happen to that kid?
Yeah, that's a good thing. We can all catch up later. First up, what's happening to the kid?
Patchwork kind of shrugs. They usually, I mean, she had one a few months ago, but I haven't seen her ever, like, hurt them. I haven't,
Okay.
she doesn't, like, show them off or, let us know entirely what she does with them, but I don't think she's, like, hurting them or anything nasty.
Do
Like,
they get to leave?
I don't believe so, but I could be mistaken.
We're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
That's his beef.
I'm opening the door.
All right, sure. You go inside. You see that it is very clearly very clearly a tinker lab. It looks like one of those really sterile, construction environments that you would see in like a third world construction area with lots of clear areas, bins and tables and an assembly line. You see Dreamcatcher is working at a table, and she's kind of moving down assembly line style building things. She's taken her jacket off and shown this undersuit that she's got on, and you see in the corner there is what looks like kind of one of the areas is different. There's a small bed. There's a little mini fridge and a box. You can see there's like some plastic shelves underneath the bed, and you can see Rachel is sitting there on the bed looking at you. And there's a TV. With some furry cartoon bugs with hearts and peace symbols going, and they're singing some song of some sort. That's kind of playing on in the background, and Rachel's kind of just looking at it a little bit. You can see that sweat is beading her face. But what strikes you as unique is that this entire the kind of like the corner of the room that she's in is walled off with kind of this big bubble. It's like this bubble of like flickering energy and light, and it kind of reminds you of like kind of very localized snowstorm, kind of in like the bubble's made out like its own kind of snowstorm sort of area, or maybe TV static, a little bit of that too. Yeah. And Dreamcatcher looks up at you as you come in, and Rachel looks over at you and says, and you can see that she's opening around. She says, Steve, and she kind of give me a social roll. You are trying to get a scared child that has just been kidnapped not to acknowledge a loved one nearby.
I have. Hold on. I need to look at this because I just need to remember my things. Okay, yeah, nope, I get nothing here. That was the old character. 1. Four.
All right, yeah, she kind of closes her mouth slowly.
Dreamcatcher, trying to figure this out.
Sure, Dreamcatcher looks up.
I'm sorry. I need to know what's going on. That's one of my friend's daughters.
Okay.
Is there a way we can get her out of here, please?
She's mine. Leave.
No.
What if we trade you a different kid? Did I just say that? She said that out loud.
I already have this one. I don't need another. I want this one. You look. Get out of here. This is my space.
I know it's your space, and I don't mean to intrude, but you've taken something from my space.
You weren't there. You weren't around. Who are you?
MVP.
She kind of gives you a very intense sort of scowl, and looks at you. Look, your loss. You want to you want to start something, let's go outside and fucking do this, but I ain't giving her up. Get out of here. Get out with your freaking posse. She's mine. You want to fight? You want to fight me over her? Is that it?
I would if that's what it needs to be.
Before we do anything like that, though,
But I don't want to. I will help you in any other way, but I need her.
Give me a social roll.
Oh boy. Did we all take pluses in social?
Yes.
Thank Jesus.
Yeah,
We learned our lesson.
5.
She kind of looks over at Rachel and kind of, goes over for a second and kind of kneels down so she's at eye level with the girl and kind of just stares at her a little bit.
Also, I'm wearing a baklava right now.
Yes.
Baklava. Baklava is a food.
Yes. You're right. I forgot this.
That's what you always said.
Yes.
You're right. I forgot this. So ignore that previous bit.
Thank you. I just realized that too.
No. She kind of turns around and says, "All right, anything." And she kind of gives you a look that makes you think anything might be a very broad sort of a statement.
As long as it involves just me and doesn't involve someone else.
Well, the very least, I'm going to need another kid. I can't just give up the one I have.
No, that's understandable. I'm not used to it, though. You'd have to help me.
That's time I could be spent tinkering. I don't see why. You want this, make it worth my while. I want another
You need other materials as well, if you're able to help me.
I got plenty of stuff here. I'm doing great right now. I have the kid, I have the place, I have my tech. I don't have to explain any of this to you. Just you either got to help me get a new kid and then help me out with some other bullshit that I want, or you can screw off.
What's the other bullshit?
Want to scan you and your friends?
Just
Want?
me.
Let's see here. It's a hassle enough. I want 500,000. Nah, I want 1 million. Million, new kid. Let me scan you and your friends.
Just me. 1.5 million.
Give me a social roll.
What?
Instead of a kid.
What?
6.
But no kid.
Okay.
If you do, I need. All right, you have 72 hours.
Sweet.
Actually,
That's the deal. 72.
all right. She doesn't even
Fair
bother
enough.
shaking your hand.
Leave the kid somewhere not here?
No, she's staying here.
But
Neutral.
nothing's done to her.
She's staying here.
Nothing's done to her during those 72 hours.
Nothing's gonna be done to her. What a fucking.
Okay.
She kind of looks at you like really offended, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
To be fair, most folks assume the worst when people just, snag children. It's a natural instinct.
Do I? What do you?
I
Do
don't
I
know
look
you.
like some kind of creep to you?
No, I
No.
don't know you. I'm just saying.
Excuse
I
me?
get bad vibes.
Hold
Where do you get off?
No,
I was assuming the things you did with tinkering involved helping out the kids, and I wasn't sure I wanted that for her.
What?
You did kidnap someone.
Yeah, and what? You think it means I'm gonna... Oh my god, you freaking... Ugh.
So out of
She just
curiosity-
goes back into her room and slams the door.
Which we're standing in.
Oh, yeah, you're still there, sorry. You go, wait, it's just you, right?
I mean,
I
other
don't
people
know.
followed me in.
Oh,
probably.
you all followed in. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, then, she's like, get out of here. Go, get out,
Okay,
go. Leave.
let's go.
Freaking
Alright.
jerks.
Well, what did you want the kid for then?
Probably just someone to be around his company.
No, that seems weird.
Gross, who the fuck wants kids?
The others, you can see the others kind of shrug and Patrick's like, yeah, so this is Cubed and Embargo.
Well, nice to meet all of you. We could go to a potluck or something.
No, we'll follow it.
Yeah, they all kind of just look around. So, were you all planning on staying here? We don't really have enough,
We have places.
beds.
We're just
We
trying
have-
to introduce ourselves to people.
Oh, okay. Well,
Thanks for the offer, all the same.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
So,
You can kind of see the layout of the place here. That white room over there is kind of where you were, but there's no cars. There's
Can you, which one is the one where,
All right.
yeah. So right over here on this far right is kind of where where Dreamcatcher set up her lab.
the garage is Dreamcatcher.
Yeah. But you can see, and this place is pretty much a sty. Like, it's definitely not as pretty as it is here. There's, like, beer cans and coffee cups and loose clothes, and it looks like several people have been sleeping on the couches and other sort of stuff. And, yeah. Yeah, it looks like a frat house.
Because it is.
Yep.
As conversation is going on,
Yep.
trying to see if Embargo recognizes me at all.
Give me a wits roll.
Can I scrutinize with this?
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
Sweet. Rolling 3, 8, 6, -1. Five.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you get the sense that he's watching you he's watching you a lot. You don't know if that's because he recognizes you specifically, but he definitely seems to have a fascination with you above anyone else in the group.
Something going on, Embargo?
I don't know, MVP. Anything going on with you? You all are coming in here. You seem to suddenly need a hell of a lot of money. I'm interested where you come from. You all you were the ones. He reaches into his pocket and starts pulls out a phone.
Yes.
And then just starts looking at it.
Please
Just
stay
give me a
tuned.
second.
yeah, speaking of money, wait, we gonna
Wait,
like rob a
recognize this
bank
phone?
or something?
Something.
It's just an iPhone.
So it's not Melody's phone.
No.
I don't want to stress you out any more than you already are, but we don't have that much time. So, robbing a bank, selling drugs that we don't have.
We do have some good amount.
Yeah.
Social share. We know where to get more.
That's right. I had some.
Well, yeah, you did yours. The rest we can sell.
Yes.
Got any connections there, Embargo?
You got drugs, I'll buy them from you.
Beautiful.
Cool.
And the others are like, well, hold on a second. If we're buying drugs, and Cubed, who's the kind of short, anemic guy, kind of just goes, nope, not me. And he kind of just leaves and goes and turns on the TV. But Patchwork comes over and is like, okay, how much do you have left? I believe, does anyone have it recorded on their sheet how much they
Have
had?
you ever said how much?
It was, the amount was 20 pounds of cocaine.
Yes, the amount, and that was split between you 6 and War Crimes and Funhouse. So it was 20.
We get 75% of that.
Yeah, so you're getting like 75% of that.
15 pounds.
So you're getting 15 pounds.
How much did you have? Not that much.
Probably.
Oh boy, the school's gonna love this Google search.
Oh yeah?
What?
Opens Tor browser.
How much is cocaine?
So yeah. So let's see here.
A kilo is about 2.2 pounds for about $2,000.
So $2,000 per kilo.
So 14. No. Oh yeah. So
we have about 7 kilos.
about 7 kilos. So we've got $14,000, which is about approximately not enough for
Yeah.
$1.5 million.
I mean,
So yeah, Embargo's like, I'll give you 15 for it, and Patchwork's like, yeah, I don't have enough to buy that from you. Go with that. And he goes over to a pile of clothing on the ground and pulls out some pants and starts pulling out dollar bills and just getting through them. Hold on. Okay, here.
Well, we don't have it right now. What? It's currently at the frat house, isn't it?
Or at the Citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's probably there with all your other stuff. All right. Well, when you get around to it, let me know.
Will do.
Alright,
I do.
Alright, that's not gonna be enough.
We're gonna have to do something else big.
So, robbing a bank?
Probably.
let's get out here and talk about that.
Sure.
I always wanted to rob a bank.
Anyway, we can. No, I'm going to turn to Patchwork.
Sure.
Any way we can get in touch with you?
Yeah, the phone number. So she jots something down on a napkin and hands it to you. Call that. It'll call a landline here. Someone will pick up.
People still have landlines?
I'm going to hand it to Gold.
Ah, cool.
It's only
I'm gonna hand it
it's
to
only
you.
2011 or something. No, it's not even 2011. It's like
2008.
2008. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah, no, that's just 2000. Fuck.
Yeah.
We're fucked.
It's
We're fucked.
Yeah, landlines. I mean, no one else has the number. This whole place is still like an up and coming project. So, like it's pretty chill. You can hide out pretty easily here. But yeah, call us up. If you got an idea, something. Of course, I don't know how you're gonna make that kind of money that quick. Best of luck though.
Thanks.
Yeah, and Cube kind of waves, is like, yeah, best of luck. Seriously.
If not, I guess I'm going to have to square off against her.
Yeah, definitely don't envy you, Embargo says, kind of just snidely.
Hey, what'd she do anyway?
Makes things.
No shit, Sherlock. She's a tinker.
I don't know. How do you frame it? And Patchwork's kind of like, she blows bubbles. And, Embargo's like, yeah, she blows bubbles.
I'm just going to slowly turn my head to Triple Crown.
Like this, and I hold up a little my finger like this and blow in between, and just a couple tiny orbs fall out.
I don't know. They do lots of weird shit. You don't want to get. I don't know. It's one of those things where you don't want to be anywhere near them, or inside of them, especially, or just generally around her.
I can imply a couple of things with Dreamcatcher. Gotcha.
Anyways, we're going to talk about this. Thank you for your time.
All right. Best of luck.
And yeah, we're gonna find our car that got knocked off a cliff and see if it still works.
You can ride it and well enough. You push your car back onto the road with your brute strength, and you're able to get it going again. You definitely don't think you should push it beyond 60 anytime soon, but you can make it work.
I help out with the push.
As we're driving, I'm like,
yes,
all right.
with Maelstrom.
All right, listen here. I'm not robbing a fucking bank.
You don't need to.
We're not robbing a fucking bank.
I'm going to do what I can the only family I have left.
I mean,
Yeah, to be fair, Steve only volunteered himself. He was very adamantly against volunteering us. So,
okay,
like,
hang on, is he, yeah, but he is associated with us.
okay.
I can split off if you need me to.
Basically, if someone asks, we had a falling out. Because we don't want you compromising this mission.
Alright, so here's the real question. Do you have another way to get money so that nothing bad happens to that kid?
Look, my suggestion for the kid would be go fight her, fucking take the kid back.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
We
I do.
we can get help if we need it.
Well,
I can pull a string, and I will pull strings to save a kid. I will risk my life to save a kid. If you want your I don't know what your relationship to her. What's your relationship to that kid?
She's my niece.
Okay, if you want your niece back, sure, we'll get your fucking niece back. That's easy. That's what I do. That's what I've been paid to do. Well, not, I've been paid to, track down some asshole, but right now, like, my normal job is breaking into places, stopping assholes from taking kids.
Also,
Probably.
this isn't new. So,
Yeah,
wouldn't have picked up the gun otherwise.
Understandable.
I figured something was up with that.
Yeah. I figured if you had powers before, you would have been using them more.
And a little less freaked out about being around us.
Yeah.
So what's it do?
Don't know.
Alright.
Oh, does it have a name? Can it talk?
Maelstrom. No.
Can't talk? You sure?
Let me try. Say something? Anything?
Hello, how's it going?
It kind of just stares at you. Like, you can tell that it's very much like it doesn't make any movement unless you specifically think for it to. Or you imagine that maybe striking it and you could maybe move it around a little bit, but like, it's not like its chest isn't like rising and falling, like, it's pretty much a statue unless you want to do anything else.
So, like, because 1.5 mil is a lot of money. That's not the kind of feat we need.
I can get us
It
about
was-
$500,000.
Where the fuck are people getting this money?
I'd much rather, just fight Dreamcatcher, to be honest. But I can.
How?
It's a bit of a long story, and I don't know if we need to.
Brief summary, 2-sentence summary. Let's go. You can be as vague as you want to be.
Investment thinking?
Investment banking. I don't know what that is, but that sounds better than robbing a bank.
There are.
Essentially, it's the same thing.
Sounds
just
like
over a
a
longer
deal.
time.
Is it like one of those like
There are
things
some,
you go to school for, and then you just go to Wall Street?
No,
And like, oh, I'm so
so-
rich, I'm gonna do a bunch of coke.
There are people out there who. They appreciate what I do and sponsor some of my activity.
Well, yeah, I've read your file. I kind of know how you work a little bit.
Yeah. I've got some friends in high places.
Friends in high places.
Nothing that I could call in some crazy favor other than, getting some money pretty quick, I think. Just investment,
And plus, bank isn't probably the best place to head, to be honest.
What were you thinking?
Jewelry store.
Ooh.
Completely different reaction. Ooh, and like baseball.
You talk about security, things like that. Odd jobs I've worked in the past.
Okay.
Would we be able to make that kind of money from just some smash and grab shit?
We need to be frank about the time we're using them. Because we are being paid to be here for a different reason. And it's not that your niece isn't a priority, She's not my priority. And so I'm not going to waste my time getting $1.5 million to rescue your niece.
Well, let me put it this way. If it makes it easier for you, this is a great way to get me onto the project.
Okay.
Additionally, though, if we're talking about efficiency here, fighting.
Yeah, fighting's most efficient. But on the other hand, I sounded like Mike Tyson, like slightly there. We really need to get in with, like we're kind of in with the people here.
They seem confused by a lot of what this person's doing. They don't necessarily seem super close. They seem a little off put.
Look, I got an idea. If y'all want to rob a jewelry store, that's great. Go rob a jewelry store. I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna say anything. And I'll go look for Melody. That seems like a good idea? Yeah?
Forget Melody.
No. Gotta find her.
You can go find Melody.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll go
doing
find
one of
Melody.
two things right now. One of them is doing whatever it is we need to do to get that kid back. The other which is finding whoever the fuck killed Tank so we can get paid and leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna find Melody because she's my responsibility, okay?
Sure, whatever, fine. But
You three, do what you want to do. And yeah, I'm gonna. Where should I drop you three?
well, how are we doing this? Are we gonna go back in there? Are we gonna say, all right, let's step outside, or are we just gonna try to make up this money?
What time is it in
I'd
the day?
rather not.
So you probably,
That's fair.
it's probably getting later in the day, so it's probably around 4 or 5-ish.
But at any point, if you decide that needs to change, I will all in support you. I'm more than not okay with what happened. I am confused at best. Capes are fucky, but
That's a new level.
that's a new level. I don't
Yeah,
care
dude,
if it
don't
is
touch
just,
kids.
fucking imaginary tea party with stuffed animals and happy fun time, whatever.
The safeguard have to have steam the person.
Not like that.
To track them.
Not necessary.
She has to be basically within the same room. And then tag them.
Okay,
It
so
doesn't
the
matter
one
what the
time
hell's
she
going
looked
on in
at,
there,
like,
it's just
research,
not.
That was like loose. Like she
Alright.
knows she's
So what's the plan?
safe. but
Fight,
that's about
jewelry
it.
store?
Right.
And she could tell
I can
like
get
what
us
the biggest threat
500,000.
is or something like that
That gets
Yeah,
us
she can tell what the
a
biggest
third
threat
of the
is.
way. Third of the way.
without being in the same room.
Selling the
Yeah.
cocaine gets
Okay.
us very
She basically
little
just
way there, but
tags,
still
she just,
closer.
pulls us out from the
Everyone
room and
counts.
tags
10%,
Okay.
less than 10%.
You know what?
No.
I'm not doing math in my head.
I'm
My
gonna.
main profession is thief. Did I tell you that?
Yes. We
like-
sort of were next to each other.
What around here?
Oh yeah.
Jail.
Yeah.
What
Yes,
around
Steve.
here is valuable enough that we could fence it in the time we need and get enough money?
Good question.
I'm gonna turn. Steve, can you send me a picture of your niece and full name? I think I can pull in a favor at least, get a little bit more info.
Sure.
Would
The picture,
Yeah,
you've seen her.
I
You-
I don't need the picture. Someone else.
No. I'm saying this is me to you, not Steve to.
Yeah,
I send you a picture. You've seen Rachel. This is a 3 years younger Rachel. At least.
that's fine. We can work with that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna send it off to Steve and like, Fred needs a favor.
Sure. A little bit later, you get a call.
Mhm.
Hey,
Hi, how's it going? You're going
To be frank,
Triple Crown. How are things?
terrible.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. What seems to be the issue?
Well, first off, Shabera just went off and got herself killed.
Yeah, I sensed that.
Um,
I saw the news.
Second off, we got a new friend, and then our friend's like, I'm a cape now, and also his niece is kidnapped. Basically and I'm out of the car for this. I'm not. Basically, could you just give me some info on how safe she is? Maybe
I don't have her tagged.
don't.
I can tell you how safe you all are. I can tell you how safe I mean, I can tell you how safe. I can't tell you about your friend, but I can tell you about yourselves. I can tell you about Melody. I can tell you about that
How's
stuff.
Melody?
Melody is in some. It's hard. It's a hard read. I got this feeling that there's something clouding it. Either I think I felt this sort of stuff before. I'd say the biggest threat to her right now is there's some cape in the area. They're a thinker. They're a pretty big threat to her. I got a feeling they know what her relation to you and to the watchdog is, and I think that's a problem.
That's a big problem. Good to know.
Yeah. I think she's laying low, but I can't tell. Her location's kind of muddy. I think she might be close to either some stranger, master, or Trump powers that might be clouding it, but it's hard to kind of tell.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a kidnapped, why don't you? I don't know. I can send you some info or something. I can maybe link you up with some other people. Why don't you just call the local PRT and drop a tip?
Yeah. Should I mention Watchdog at all or not?
No, don't mention us if at all possible.
All right.
Yeah.
Max. All right.
I'm gonna be busy. We have some stuff going down in other areas, so try to keep contact with me to a minimum.
Oh, I heard about Brockton. That was awful.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Wow.
Yeah, that's really not my, area of expertise. I'm looking more at Tacoma. There's some weird stuff there. So I'm going to go. I have to deal with that.
The master 8 there, or whatever, 10.
No, look, I gotta go.
Right.
Figure it out. Look, it sucks that freaking Shibaru bit it, but shit happens. She's a big name. She fucking, I don't know why. We'll talk about it later. You can hear that she's both exasperated, annoyed, but also you can get the sense that she's a little understanding that shit happens, but maybe not as much as you would have liked. But she hangs up.
All right. All right.
You also know that you also have what's his face? His number. Not safety hazard. I think it's safety hazard.
Safety hazard? Yeah, I think it's safety hazard.
Yeah, safety hazard. You also have safety hazard's number.
I'm gonna. Do you know exactly what safety hazard does?
Nope.
I have no idea what he does. No one explained that to me.
No one explained that to you. He was just there in the room.
And they just gave me his number.
Yeah, they just gave. Well, his number. He was there with all with your handlers. He's your backup handler in case something happens to the safeguard.
Okay. And you're like, all right. So if you want, we can call it a tip to the PRT. If violence is the answer.
If violence is the answer,
Right.
then we should do that. We're going to try and figure out how to do this non-violently first, because I don't want to break your terms with the villains.
All right. Anyways, so I'm like, just stopping, like, there's a street corner, like, I think you can get, are you three gonna go through with what you were talking about?
Probably.
Alright.
At least.
We need to figure out what we need to steal first. I think we should ask our new friends if they know of anything very valuable.
Yeah.
So show up at the Citadel again?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll drop the all at the Citadel and go look for Melody.
Okay. Sure. Are you gonna text Melody at all, or see?
I'm gonna text her like, you okay?
She's like, yeah, I'm good.
You sure? Where are you?
I'm watching the people around the bunker, just keeping an eye on them.
Alright, I'm gonna go check.
I've been trying to do some some of the investigating, and she sends you like a emoji with like the little magnifying glass, or little spy with a magnifying glass. I don't know, they're super boring. They're just kind of hanging out, and like they go out occasionally and like do jobs, but nothing. I don't know, like.
Who is Tank friends with or something?
Seems like he was friend.
Let's be fair.
I can do some research on that. I've been talking to I'll do some research. How about I go and talk with some other heroes that I ran into this chick Stairmaster.
Stairmaster.
I'm gonna go. I can ask her. She's been around here for a while.
Should I know Stairmaster?
I believe you saw her on maybe the monitor boards, but
Oh,
that's about it.
I think I've received some information on Stairmaster. And
You might have. That's
movement
on
things.
you to talk about.
I love that name.
But yeah, it sounds like Melody can do like some background digging and
Yeah.
investigation on your part. That she's kind of in a good position for that.
Yeah.
She's kind of been.
Do I have a file? I have a file on tank, right?
Yeah, you have a file on
I'm
tank.
gonna peruse that, see maybe who we hung out with,
Mhm.
who didn't like, at least who we, not necessarily using who didn't like him as leads, but who he hung out with, I think is important.
Sure, give me a knowledge roll.
If I read the file?
Yeah.
You gotta read the file.
It's a thick file.
thick.
You're looking for important.
The top of my
The people he hung out with is big. He was a mercenary, hero for hire. So he literally worked with, like, there are pages of him working with hundreds of capes in the
I'm trying
state.
to find tank, but the files are too
4.
thick.
4. Okay.
The-
So
God, this blurs the balance.
notably, as you get towards the end of the document, he was in Flagstaff. He moved to Flagstaff recently to base himself out of, trying to help out as a kind of a business thing with the string theory nuke, as kind of setting up here to try to help add a little bit to the economy and be a little bit helpful. His most recent event, it really looked like, was a fight with a fight with someone called Pest. As well as, and it looks like he had some run, and one of his more the other thing that stands out to you is that it seems like he was one of the people who arrested Embargo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Summarize it again, just so for.
He worked with a lot of people. He moved to Flagstaff to help out revitalize the economy. He was the one who arrested Embargo, who recently escaped from jail, and and the last thing that's recorded of him doing was a fight with Patchwork before he died.
Okay.
Or sorry, not Patchwork, Pest.
What?
You might want to look at the chat in the Twitch stream.
What? What? Oh god.
I see. Well, that's one way. That's one way to phrase it.
Where's what? Hang on, 'cause I don't even-
Primordial Luxia. Alexa, not Luxia.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, what about you two?
Well, yeah, I think we're gonna go chat with Philosopher King and or
Can
War
you just link
Crimes
that on the Twitch? too?
and
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
what if we need to get hold of a lot of
Who said that? I can't.
It was
Hold on.
It was a combination effort. But it's a group effort.
but talking to just folks at the Citadel and see
Yeah, so you show up. It looks like War Crimes isn't there, but Vigor and Philosopher King and Funhouse are all chilling out. It looks like Funhouse is playing some video games with one of Vigor's minions, and Vigor's kind of cooking in the background. It looks like she's making hamburgers on the thing, and Philosopher King is working on a laptop. And they kind of all look up, and Philosopher King gives you, "Hey, how's it going?"
well, interestingly, so if we needed, say, $1 million or more, at least,
They all
$1 million though,
They all kind of turn and look. Everyone kind of pauses and looks at you.
and we wanted to get it through stealing, most likely, what around you is valuable enough?
They all kind of look at each other. Not a lot recently. Your best bet might be hitting a couple of banks. Flagstaff doesn't. Most of the money is in tourism, so mostly you gotta, you make a quick buck robbing little, little stores here or there. Otherwise, it's a lot of government, facilities and like everything really profitable got blown up. Is the hard part of it. There's still enough banks that you could probably get away. You'd probably have to hit a few of them though.
That's difficult. All right. Well, short version.
How much do you know about Dreamcatcher?
Name rings a bell, Vigor says, and Funhouse like, she's I don't know, like I thought she was pretty cool, but then like I don't know, I heard some weird shit about her from some friends of mine.
We just saw some weird shit about her. Still don't understand it.
She's a kidnapper.
Yeah, I heard she like, freaking abducts kids or something.
Yep,
Oh,
on the money.
Someone that I know, one of their kids, is now being held by her.
yeah, I was talking with Heartless Diamond from the freaking from freaking Delta Theta Pi. Yeah, she seems real, like, she was like, stay away from her, and I was like, why? She seems like good people. I met up with her once, she was pretty straight up. We we didn't do anything major, but, it was like, she didn't like blast my head off like half the people I run into. But yeah, apparently she's like super fucked up and like kidnaps kids and stuff, and like, I don't know. She's got, I don't know, she's like a, I don't know. What do you call a kleptomaniac that only steals kids?
Great
She's
question.
like, Philosopher King's like, I don't think there's a term for that. And she's like, well, that's good. It's good that there's not enough people doing that to warrant a term.
Yeah.
And Philosopher King just kind of nods.
What does she do with the kids, you know?
I don't know. You could probably find out if you. I don't know. I'm not sure if any like I haven't heard of her a lot. I imagine she moves around a lot because of she's kidnapping kids.
Yeah.
She wants payment.
For the kid.
Yeah.
And at least for now, we're trying
How much?
to avoid
1.5 million.
Funhouse just laughs at, oh, you're serious. Let me laugh even harder. Well, that sucks.
A little bit.
Because
I don't want to fight her, but come to the end of the day, I will.
Well, if you need any help, I mean, I'm happy to help you out with anything. I don't know.
I feel like
Kind of a rough thing. I definitely would like to help out with kids, but, it's, go in there, it's going to hurt. It's, we can't, like, do anything. Like,
here's
what are
the
we going to do?
You said we need to hit multiple banks.
Yeah.
Well, if we hit them at the same time, we can't get a strong enough response at any of them.
True.
Sure, you'd probably need to hit 3 whole banks if you wanted that, and to pay whoever you're bringing. I mean, who are you thinking of bringing?
Let's say 3 capes to a bank. That seemed good enough.
It's probably more than enough, yeah. The Philosopher King says.
Well, assuming that reinforcements would probably show up quickly.
Who would we know that would show up?
Let's go with
Pharaoh, Helios,
2 banks,
Hunger Strike,
2 capes to a bank,
Stairmaster.
and a couple of other people.
All of us? And, Vigor says, kind of pointing at, at them all.
Would you be interested?
Sure, if you split it with us, fair ways, yeah.
Granted that we get enough for the release of this person in my life.
Sure, yeah, look, we'll help you with any job if you're willing to split it and you're not gonna, and the job isn't stupid. And, this seems pretty alright as long as we go in with a plan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
As long as we're done in
Sure.
72 hours, that video? 70,
Yeah.
70 something.
24 hours to plan,
Yeah.
24 hours to execute,
Okay.
and give us 24 hours to prove them.
Vigor's like, I'll do it if you pay me. Philosopher King's like, well, alright, but it's gotta be a good plan. And Funhouse is like, sure, you guys were competent on the last one, let's do it.
Beautiful.
You're kind of a master heister, right?
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Gold, your thing is you can understand relationships between things, right? Is that how that works?
How about- You want to be scout team?
We need to figure out how.
If you wait a couple hours, I'm sure war crimes will wake up too.
And I'm sure war crimes would be super down.
Yeah. something big like this gets lots of attention and lots of money, both of which are hot commodities.
I mean, we're going to be trading away most of the money.
Yeah, well, it depends on how much we make, but
Mm-hmm.
we need at least $1 million for our purposes.
Yeah.
And we need to pay everyone else
Yes.
fairly.
You could also, so you also have your investment thing, which you could call in for something that's perhaps more uniquely valuable for a bank heist specifically, instead of that. So if you think you can, so just keep that in mind.
Like a plasma torch, stuff like that?
Yeah, like a plasma torch would be a really good, maybe a set of plasma torches even would probably be a viable option.
Well, for one bank, I could probably overload the circuits. I know what I'm doing.
Okay. I can definitely get a
Funhouse. By the way, fun things happen.
Fun things happened?
Things I can't do inside the house.
Welcome.
Oh, hey, look at this one. Freaking growing a pair. Woo.
Yeah. What happens when you see someone you know real well just fucking
Be kidnapped?
Jesus?
His name's MVP now.
The others kind of, Vigor and Philosopher King, cross their arms and kind of try to look busy with other stuff. But Fun House just kind of is like, yeah, way to go.
Too fun at Funhouse.
Yeah.
Well,
give me a wits roll, give me a scrutinize roll.
Scrutinize? Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder. I'm just gonna copy that because I'll probably do it several times.
I imagine so.
Again, a 5.
A 5. You get the sense that maybe the idea of seeing people in jeopardy in some way or having other people nearby is more of an issue for Philosopher King and Vigor than it might be for, say, Funhouse.
Yeah. Don't worry, I won't step on any toes.
Not like that. You get the sense that it reminds them of certain events in their life.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
In which case, I say nothing.
So yeah, well, eventually you all eat burgers, and then War Crime shows up, and you all catch him up to speed. I imagine Triple Crown probably comes back too.
I'm looking for Melody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Melody says she can meet you, or she can go off and talk to Stairmaster. Which would you prefer?
I'm gonna have her go talk to Stairmaster.
Okay.
And
She says she's got, things are mostly good on her end. If you want to meet up, just let her know and she can do it. But she's pretty busy just, doing, insinuating herself with groups and investigating leads. Although she's not having a huge amount of luck. Basically, she's going to be an asset that you can use in the background to run, like, little side investigations if you want.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm thinking for her because, does that work?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Okay, well, at least I know she's safe. She might die.
She seemed competent enough when you met her. She escaped from the fight she was the only one who escaped the fight with, like, all the police officers without, like, getting killed or arrested, so there was that. That's, slight points in her favor.
Yeah, slight.
Slight.
Without getting hurt, right?
I think so. I think she might have taken some wounds.
Yes.
She didn't get
But-
shot.
You all took some wounds.
Where is Pest?
I can tell you exactly where she got
Pest
the
is at the
wounds from.
bunker with Thunderstruck and Totem Pole and someone else.
It was from War Crimes.
Okay, and I guess the bunker, villains, heroes, mercenary cartel.
They seemed more, Thunderstruck's definitely a more, seems more villainously aligned, at least from what you've read. Totem Pole steals lots of money and then takes it to a nearby Native American reservation and gives it and uses it there to help, like, revitalize stuff. But he's pretty violent. Like, he causes, like, wide scale riots and, like, lots of property damage. And then the other person there was Restless, who appears to be mostly a mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
But she used to be on a hero team.
Okay.
Pest, there's not a whole lot of info on. he wasn't you didn't have info on him, so you'd have to probably do some research.
Okay. And Pet's friends are at the bunker.
Yeah, Pest's at the bunker with all of the others,
And okay, well, maybe I'll just,
or with all that whole posse.
maybe I'll just show up and introduce myself, apologize for the for Weaverdice being a dumbass.
Sounds like a plan. So you're gonna go to the bunker?
Yeah, clear the air, make sure they don't hate us.
Sure. So yeah, you drive over there, and you're able to kind of find the way over, and eventually, it's really hard to actually find anything. Like, you're driving around the area for a pretty good while before eventually you see someone in kind of the middle of the road kind of wave you down.
And I'm gonna just slow down and put my hand wave.
Sure. Yeah. Are you in costume?
Yeah.
Okay. They kind of look at you and they kind of come closer and they kind of come up and there's like, who are you?
Triple Crown.
What do you want?
I just wanted to, stop by, introduce myself, clear some air.
Who do you want to talk to?
The bunker. Whoever's there. Totem pole, if he's there.
They kind of walk closer and you can see that it's like a girl wearing like a tank top and like some shorts and she I don't know, she looks like someone that might be on vacation or something more than anything else. She kind of comes closer and she's like, $50. I'll show you where it is.
Alright. I want to see if she's fucking quick. I've been made a fool of. Scrutinize, hummus. What does Scrutinize 1 do?
Scrutinize 1, you get an extra. You get roll to read attitudes, discern lies, or uncover disguises,
Great.
and you get a +1 die to analyzing people, detecting lies, or uncovering disguises.
So if I get a 1 high 6, I get a 2 high 6.
Yes. Plus whatever your probably wisdom is.
Well,
I think
it's
might
social.
It is a social stat, but if you are trying to find a lie, it might be wisdom. I'm not sure.
Alright, I'm gonna go for social. If that's okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, 5.
5?
Yeah.
She's not bullshitting you. She seems like she knows exactly where it is, and she seems just like greedy. Like she just is. Yeah.
25.
All right, fine.
All right, thanks. All right.
Sure. She takes it and she's like, all right. And she jumps in the sidecar. All right, you can see that she has a gun tucked into her waistline, and she's like, okay, follow here.
Yeah.
Okay, go over there. All right, now take this left. Okay, now hold on, stop. You see those 2 trees there?
Yeah.
Those look like there's trees on the other side of them. There aren't. Just follow that right there. And so eventually you're going like straight to the backwoods. Like there's no houses around here. It's middle of nowhere. It's dark. Like, you're waiting for freaking, Leatherface to jump out with a chainsaw. And then you come to this area that's this kind of clearing, and it looks like the base of a structure that used to be here. And you can see like pillars with rebarb sticking out of them. The ground is like grass, and then there's this big cement block. And you can see like little bits and pieces and pipes kind of sticking up here and there, and it's all ratted and dirty and kind of overgrown. And she pops out and she's like, come on, the bunker's down that door there. And she kind of points to like a maintenance sort of hatch looking thing.
Should I knock? Can I just go in? How's that work? Knock?
I'll knock and let him know. And yeah.
Okay.
Sure. And she goes over and, she's like, yeah, just leave your car parked here. Or, yeah, we'll be fine.
Okay, there's nothing telling in that car. Oh, that's right. Hummus has the PRT head, but it says "fuck the PRT."
Yes. So yeah. So you get up there and she knocks on the door and then opens it up and steps on and's like hey, I'm bringing someone down. And then she kind of motions over to you, and you see that it's kind of like this elevator sort of shaft thing. And so you jump down onto the main, and then she like hits like a big button, and it kind of lowers down.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but it lowers down, and you know, you're kind of brought to these doors that open, and like what strikes you pretty immediately is like this is a really like high tech facility sort of shit. Like,
How did they get this?
yeah, so like you know, you go in and you know these pair of doors open, and then you get to like this other yeah, and so you get to this other kind of area, and the doors open up there, and you get kind of led into this room labeled 4 here, where there's some people you know standing around. There's this large gentleman who kind of you know comes up and you know gives the lady a pat on the back, and you know he kind of looks over at you and it's like, "Who are you?"
Triple Crown.
All right, Phil.
Phil, just Phil.
Yeah, just Phil. You want in the Cape folks?
You're making me slip this up. Oh yeah. I'm looking for the Cape Folks.
All right, right this way. You ain't got any weapons? You gotta check them here.
I mean, I've got a baseball bat, but
Yeah, leave that.
all right.
All right. He takes it and he kind of puts it in kind of you know a side room. All right, and then he kind of leads you back, and you get led into this back room that is really you know just like top of the line. Like you know you can see this whole like kind of place now. You see that there's like a full-fledged like you know all the way kitchen, you know, dining room. You know, you can see, you know, in the back, you know, there's even a pool room and stuff. Like it's like top, like it's like a serious like, you know, penthouse sort of thing, but underground. Like it's actually better than the Citadel in a lot of ways. Because the Citadel's a bombed out, you know, disused apartment complex, whereas this looks like someone's private little home. Even though it is underground and like there's a lot of halogen lights. But you see that there's a lady there with a visor on and black lipstick, and her hair is just, you know, draped over the couch that she's watching TV on, and it's clearly thunderstruck given, you know, just kind of her hair, which is a very big telltale sign. There's a guy who comes out who's pretty, you know, just absolutely amped, and he kind of has a similar build to a totem pole, and he's kind of hanging out in the corner. You know, you can definitely you know tell the Native American heritage is pretty noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
There's also 2 other folks. There's a white guy that's kind of sitting towards the other half, and he's drinking, and it looks like he's just scrolling on his phone, and he kind of looks up and you know is like, "Phil, who's this?" And is like, "Sorry, Triple Crown. He came with Jesse," and the guy's just like, "Okay, fine. Group meeting." Then they all kind of nod, sure. Someone get Restless, and Thunderstruck gets up to get her, and eventually they all gather around. It turns out that Restless is kind of this short-haired brunette, and she's kind of she's tall, you know, but not well proportioned, so she kind of looks a little like lengthy in kind of like a weird way.
Person.
Yeah, kind of in just a weird
lanky,
way.
kind of awkward.
Yeah, a little awkward. But you know, she's you know, she's just wearing you know, like a t-shirt and like you know, kind of dress pants.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks pretty, you know, pretty professional compared to the rest of them. So yeah, what do you do? They all kind of are looking at you.
Oh, so first off, I would like to apologize for the whole mishap with the drill. That was an acquaintance being a dumb fuck, to be frank.
Well, thanks. We appreciate that. It was definitely an annoyance.
Yeah, we certainly did not mean to bother any of yous. That's not really, was never the intent.
Well, thanks for well, it was. It was an imposition, Totem Pole says. Kind of says no, but then sort of starts up. It was a really fucking, you know, big pain in the ass. Couldn't fucking sleep for freaking. Fuck. Why? Who builds something like that?
I don't know. She never mentioned, like, the noise really matter.
Well, you know, Thunderstruck's well, all right, and you know this other guy, you know, who isn't Restless, who you can assume is past this kind of guy with kind of a southern drawl, is like, well, at least she's dead now, and we can finally get some fucking sleep.
Which, speaking of, like, places to sleep, Damn, this is a nice place to sleep.
I know, right?
How did you even come across this?
He kind of looks over. Ah, well, I don't understand it well as Restless. What?
Accent is so good.
Restless. What were you saying about it? And Restless kind of said, yeah. And she's, she sounds like a lot more professional. Like her diction is like, spot on. This building used to be a laboratory for an astrology laboratory before it got torn down, and another one got built. Flagstaff has a policy against light pollution, which makes it really good. I'm sure you've seen, that's like you can see every freaking star. Anyway, this was right after the Cold War, so they built a fallout shelter here as well. Because Cold War drama and all that sort of stuff. So all this was standing around, and when they built the new building, the surveyors, the foreman who was in charge of the deconstruction, left all this and then, sold it. He sold the secret to, some rich, well-to-do folks as a, sort of secret, end of the world bunker sort of place. And then eventually they had to sell it because, in the freaking recession, whatever they were doing kind of fell through, and so they sold it to some villains who, kind of kept it going. Oh. And now it's like a happening place that no one knows about. And so don't go spreading it. The last thing we need is every freaking Tom, Dick, and Harry showing up.
Oh man, I understand. I was about to say in character, like I'm not a snitch, but I'm definitely a snitch.
Mm-hmm. Thunderstruck's like, yeah, it's pretty kick-ass. There's not a lot of places as good as this that are as hidden as it is. They got a freaking pool down here.
What?
I know, right?
I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. I just wanted to let you, clear the air. If there's anything we can help out with, you should let me know. Or let Phosphor know. I can give you Phosphor's number if you really need it. Because Phosphor's more in charge than me.
Sorry, repeat that real quick.
Well, but if you need, something you need help with.
Oh, yeah. All right, we'll let you know. Right now, we're pretty good. We're laying low for, just with our various things, going out occasionally, figuring out what the next job will be. We're really more of a mercenary staging point. We're waiting for contracts to pick up, and so we can figure out where we're going next and what teams we're joining up with.
Mm-hmm. Mind I keep going into Southern accent. Mind giving me a second? I just want to give my team a call, see what they're.
There's no cell reception down here, but we got a landline.
Got a landline? Okay, I can. I can call you. I can call one of you over the landline.
Yeah. I mean, you go over and you see that there's a post-it note atop the thing that has the numbers for the frat house and for the Citadel, just up there.
Oh, thank goodness that they're friends with them. Somewhat friends.
Yes. Well, you remember that the Citadel had similar numbers carved into the wood near the telephone.
Okay.
So you get the sense that at some point these groups were a lot more connected.
Mm-hmm.
Or and that these are cyclical groups. So the people who have been here, none of the people I think you've met have been in town for longer than like 2 months.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna give one of these fools a call.
Sure.
Probably Phosphor, because Phosphor is the most experienced.
That's probably wise.
I am not the most experienced.
So Phosphor, you get a call from Triple Crown. You get a call from a number you don't recognize. What do you do?
I frown, but I answer because this is not my real cell phone anyway.
Okay.
Hey, it's Triple Crown. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. You lose your phone?
No, I'm just in the bunker.
Cool. So landline.
Yeah.
Great, lovely. Less than good. All right, sure. What's up?
Well, look, I was talking to the folks here. They said they were maybe looking for some work. I personally don't want to go, do whatever you're planning, but if you want extra people, I'm certain they'd be willing to help out.
Okay. Yeah, we might need a few. definitely. I don't know, anyone there you particularly like or trust?
I barely know any of them, to be frank.
Alright. See, the thing with working with people who you don't know that well is when they try to shoot you in the face, it's a lot harder to expect it.
Well, I mean, what's your plan?
Well, it's gonna hit 3 banks at the same time.
Well, you need people for a third bank, right?
True, but we need them to not run off with the money.
I could negotiate with you.
Everyone will be paid well, who's involved. Anyone who fucks us over will be likewise,
Fucked over.
yeah.
Okay, I'll go tell them that then.
Beautiful.
Should I offer? I'll offer them a job.
Offer them the job, let them know, though, even though they will be absolutely paid fairly to the fullest extent possible, at least $1.5 million is going to us,
To the accolades.
the accolades.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna hang up. Hey, you mentioned looking for work.
We all kind of look at each other. Depends.
What do you think of bank robbing?
They all kind of look at each other. I don't know. There's a lot of wannabe heroes around here that could show up and mess things up.
Robbing 3 banks at the same time.
They all kind of raise their eyebrows at that a little bit more. Thunderstruck's like, that's a big move. Are you sure you? I gotta.
Okay.
What
so,
Phoenix capes should show up. Like you get like a full on don't you think
get paid
how
well.
many? Okay, lay out the full plan because this sounds kind of crazy.
You got a speakerphone? Can that landline go on speaker?
Yeah, I can patch it through to the music system. Sure.
All right. Y'all better have a plan.
Plan is in the process. We're actually chatting with some friends now.
Oh, so maybe it'll be a giant conference call between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so.
All right, I'll call up my friend here.
Mm.
All right, and I'll put you on speaker in the bunker, I guess.
Great. It's nice to, I guess, informally meet all of you. Hopefully get to meet all of you in person. We can all profit and do well together. Here's the general idea. We need a lot of money and a lot of money fast. We need to pay a ransom because it is the desirable form of dealing with a particularly delicate situation. And we figured, why not reach out to a bunch of new friends here, do something big, get everybody really up in the mix, make some money, put your name out there, just see how well we can do. Now, being that half of Flagstaff is a smoking crater, there's not a lot of single target stuff going on here. We asked around, nobody had any great ideas. Hence, robbing 3 banks at the same time. If we hit 3 banks at the same time, anyone who's responding to that's going to have a little bit more trouble choosing where to respond. Overall, odds are higher. Still, a very big, very public thing.
Yeah, you can hear Thunderstruck kind of saying, you kind of recognize her voice. It's kind of this, it carries very well for some reason. And you can kind of see that, and when she talks, there's something very kind of weird going on in the bunker. Like, you've noticed this kind of when she talks, but now it's like really confirmed that like, there's something up with like, you can't put your finger on it. Give me a wits roll. Yeah, she's like, yeah, that's my big problem. You're hitting 3 banks at the same time with how many? Freaking over 8 capes?
I was thinking probably 3 capes per bank, just to keep things tight.
9 capes.
We really...
That is going to attract all kinds of fucking attention.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, and I don't think we know anyone who can prevent that, but...
It just feels like... Totem Pole's like, yeah, I don't think that I'm a good fit for this job. Too many people I piss off. Too many people that would piss me off.
Fair. I can respect that.
Vigor's like, and all the others have gathered up. War Crimes is like, I'm in, full stop. let's do this. Yeah, let's do it. Restless is like, I'm on board if I'm on board, but you gotta promise me no one dies. Thunderstruck's like, and you can hear Thunderstruck immediately, like, kind of make a sound of agreement. Yeah. If people start dying, we're gonna get all kinds of people coming here, start hunting heads.
Absolutely.
No plan to kill anyone.
If anyone does kill anyone, then I will deal with them myself.
Give me a
Charm?
social roll and art. This is gonna be a social roll because you have to sell to these people who you've never met and who don't know you as well. Now you might want to say some other stuff, pull some reputation here, because these are people who, you need to sell that you're going to be able to deal with anyone if they commit murder.
So here's what's up. I am not generally the villain type. I just do contracts. I get paid. Most of my contracts have been kill orders. I deal with the people who fuck up really bad. I don't really care if people, want to knock over a couple ATMs, maybe, steal some booze, do whatever they want. Things that aren't really a big deal. But when you start fucking with the lives of civilians, murdering people, hurting people who are just trying to have a normal-ass life, then I start to have a problem. Folks have all kinds of different rackets, extortion, whatever. That's not really my problem. But once you start physically hurting people, that's not okay. So if anyone does try to pull some vengeance trip bullshit or hurt people intentionally on accident, whatever, then that's going to be a big problem for me. I'm letting you all know that now. I don't think any of you are liable to really fuck up like that.
And just to make it very clear, we all listen to him.
All right. This one's pulled you're the leader rep. You've pulled I'm a mercenary rep. You've also pulled, what other kind of reps have you pulled? Did you mention that you did a kill order?
Oh, yes. Specifically, kill order wise, if you're familiar with,
I mean, if you just said that you've done kill orders, that's good enough. So if you can name one more thing, you can get a +2 to your social.
We've also named that we're doing this for a ransom.
That's
good. You could but if you...
We're trying to save a kid.
Okay, that'll do it. Okay, so give me... So yeah, you get a +2 to your social roll for this. And this will determine...
Your social.
Yeah, plus your regular social. If you have any...
I have charm. That's
Yes.
a skill, but I don't have a modifier.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Thunderstruck's like, all right, that sounds good. Restless nods and then realizes she's on thing. Yeah, that sounds good. Pest's like, okay, we're splitting this evenly.
As evenly as possible. We need to pay the ransom, and we can defer.
I'm in if it's split evenly, and that's it. You split it evenly, you can count on me.
We'll split evenly. I will personally find a way to pay anything that needs being squared up, and we have to defer, if that's all right.
How about this? We take the 1.5 mil. Anything else, if we go over it being split evenly, it's split evenly among everyone else. If we go under, it's split evenly among everyone else. No matter what, we have a set rate, but the more we steal, the more everyone else gets paid.
I don't know. You're talking a big operation here. I don't want to do a whole bunch of crazy number stuff. Just split it evenly, and let's not muddle this up with with interest rates and bullshit.
No, yeah.
You think you can make that money with 3 bank robberies?
Anyone have it?
Gold. In your experience, knocking over a bank in entirety, how much money do you probably get out of that?
I've never knocked over a bank.
Well, shit.
You would probably know, though, given your expertise, that the average normal bank robbery nets about $31,000. That being said, those are average bank robberies not pertaining to parahumans who can net more regularly 25 to or 250 to 500 in very extreme cases.
That's from the bank, but not per person.
Yeah, that's in total.
In total.
In total, if you at the very top, you could you'd be in the best case scenario, you'd expect $1.5 million total
Okay.
from all 3 jobs.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
You might have to figure out something else, but it's a really good starting point.
So.
Okay.
I've never personally robbed a bank, but like off the top of my head, I've heard that you can get like I don't know, average is something around 30,000, but like that's for normal people. For like parahumans, it's more like I don't know, like 250, maybe 500 if you're good.
All right.
so we won't be getting quite enough.
Gotta do
I
something.
mean,
We could do something extra.
Could do something, sure. Or
I mean, I could always go
we
off.
could start some betting. Get out there, deep web, see who's willing to invest or wager.
You can do it on monitor.
Beautiful.
Oh, what's the wait?
I
Oh,
have
we're
some
gonna make
people-
money off betting.
I have some
Oh,
people I can talk
We pull
to,
off a bank.
see if I can't get some of that roll
You're
a
gonna
little extra
bet
hard.
$500,000 that we're gonna pull off of a bank heist.
Not necessarily. I was going to try
Yeah,
to
we're gonna
use
get a
some of
bump in
those
rankings.
favors to get us the equipment we need, stuff to cut into the vaults, if we need that for different crews. But I figure if there are folks willing to, thermal lance really isn't that expensive. All the equipment said that's maybe like $5,000-$8,000. Whatever other shit we need still puts us under a decent amount. So I'm figuring I can also cash that rest of that in as a bit of an informal favor as far as getting people on monitors stirred up and throwing money around.
It's doable. It'll be risky, and you'll all have to it'll rely on choosing the right people, because the way it'll work is you'll basically have to select the people you think will get the most attention from the robbery. Who will the media focus on? Who will the public research? Who will people be talking about on forums, on talk shows, on all that sort of stuff?
Flashy people.
Yes, who's going to be flashy? You got to bet on them, or you got to bet on yourselves and make it happen.
Flashy people, whoever's really got good
I don't even
PR.
have a name on monitors yet.
Yeah, so do you think you could go from not existing on the site to, and you could bet in different ways. You could bet in either who's going to, get the highest, who's going to get the most growth. That obviously wouldn't have as applied to you in the same calculations, but there are ways that you could, structure it.
But you could say there's going to be a new person. They're going to end up in the top 60.
Yeah.
Wait, ooh, I've got an idea. Gold, you can live stream the.
You'd probably have to aim a little higher than top 60
Yeah,
in order
body
to
cams
get a
live
good
streaming.
amount of money. You'd probably have to get up in the top 20.
Body cams and live streaming.
Live streaming. All right.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, we're gonna do body cams and live streaming.
You're gonna body cam and live stream your bank robbery.
Body cams are especially helpful. That way we know if anyone fucks up, we know who they are. I like that.
Are we discussing this over the conference call?
You might be talking a little bit to the side while the others are hashing out
Yeah.
things. So, a lot of them are talking. So they all realize that you're not a part of this, right? You're not going to do the actual bank robbery.
I might do logistics of it.
Okay.
But
So in that case, they realize that they have 11 people here, and they realize that not all of them are who totem pole's out. So 10 people here. So you have to decide who's not going to join, or at least something for someone else to do.
I mean, I can go off with the other person and just do something with them.
Yeah.
We could have some folks.
Oh, and you figure, and they've talked about kind of what their abilities are. You generally get the sense that, Pest's a stranger, Restless is a changer. Oh wow, we're breaking out the whiteboard. Way to go!
Here we go.
So yeah, Pest is a stranger. Restless a changer. You know the basic classifications and the abilities of everyone in the Citadel.
Can I get an update on the? I got a 6 for your Thunderstruck check that you wanted me to do.
Oh yeah. It seems like the wind subtly moves in the entire building whenever she's talking to carry her voice farther.
So, what we're saying is,
And you know that Thunderstruck is an Alexandria package, so a brute mover of some kind.
yeah, I'm going to say, just right off the bat, we want Philosopher King and Thunderstruck, because they are the two biggest names that we have. having them be.
Well, that's the thing. Are they going to overshadow whatever you do?
We just want to choose the good bets. We don't necessarily want our bet to be the successful one. We just want the money to do well.
This is true.
We want to play this financially more than we want to play this with our ego.
Philosopher King gets number 1 on the boards. Or Philosopher King or Thunderstruck get number 1 on the boards. Right? Like, how close are they to the top?
Thunderstruck 17, Philosopher King's 5.
Yeah, we got 5 and 17.
Okay, Thunderstruck moves the top. Moves to
The
top.
war crimes. Remember when I was
Top
saying
5.
that we wanted to figure out, and this is personal to war crimes out of the
Yeah.
game as well. And I guess whoever else is just hanging here. Remember we were talking about finding out who killed Tank so we could figure out how to beat them on the leaderboard?
Yeah, I was
Like,
really
why they
behind that.
didn't come forward with that because that's a big deal.
Well, yeah.
Think this would get them to play that card to be the I killed Tank person if we fuck this up so much for them?
Someone's not gonna. I got the feeling that whoever killed Tank isn't like.
Gonna say it.
Well, yeah, if they were gonna say it, they would have said it. Like from what I heard, like I don't know. Like it seemed like whoever killed him, like his, I don't know. It was like, yeah, I don't think they were trying to take credit. Like it seemed like it was a hit job.
We do need to bring war crimes.
Yeah.
Simply because otherwise I think we'll get shot by war.
No, we're bringing war crimes. He's got flash. He's got style. He'll help. People gonna want to watch that.
Yeah.
War crimes
Okay.
is absolutely.
Okay, Thunderstruck has style too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if those two are in the same building, it might turn out poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Like in
We're
terms-
missing one person here.
So they
Who
don't
we
go
were
on the same
missing?
team.
Pest, restless,
Vector.
vigor.
Vigor. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Vector is the.
Yeah.
And then write down
Who is yeah. You can figure it all out.
Okay, what does Philosopher King do exactly?
You know that previously on Weaverdice Flagstaff, he said that nothing works on him twice.
I'm gonna say. Maybe we don't bring Philosopher King.
Sorry?
This is a new field. If nothing works on you twice.
I've robbed banks before.
Okay.
There we go. All right. Let's see.
It says it's not that. It's not that situation dependent.
Fair enough.
And frankly, some of us kind of can be extras, seeing as all we're all working for the same chunk of change.
If you're gonna have someone extra, you're probably gonna want someone fast who can get to your whichever location needs it. Philosopher King says.
As long as I'm not getting hit, I can be pretty fast.
Well, Thunderstruck's the fastest.
This is true.
I'm not. If I'm doing this, I'm gonna hit a location. She says. Have a Restless do it. She's pretty fast.
Restless, what's your top speed?
Top speed? Let's see here. I don't know. I've never actually clocked it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Faster than the car?
Nah. I don't know. I could probably win the Olympics.
Okay.
Like a sprint. I don't know if they let me compete.
We would want someone.
I'm a little bit faster than a horse at full sprint.
Okay.
How fast am I?
You're a little bit faster, but not like. How fast are you? 45.
My rocket feet give me 45.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, like you Yeah, that's probably I mean, it's a mixture of that and athletics. You're probably pretty fast, but I can do the calculation and get back to you.
You're not as fast as her.
Thunderstruck, how would you
Probably
feel
not as fast as her.
if
Yeah,
we hit the
definitely.
locations, we do what we need to do, everyone stashes the loot in a spot, maybe on the roof outside. Once the things are done, you fly, you grab shit, and we stash it.
Nah, I need to be seen.
Fair?
Yep.
We gotta get the cash out of there soon. The longer I mean, Vigor's popping up at this time. Bank heists are time games. The longer we wait, the first thing that's gonna happen is there is a whole bunch of capes are gonna show up. Right after that, a whole bunch of cops are gonna show up. And as the longer we wait, the more it turns into a proactive siege. And that is not what we want.
No.
Because then we get bogged down
start
and
it-
we lose money.
Who wants to do a smaller thing, large enough to attract some people? Then the bank heist starts.
Someone's gonna be the bait.
I can
Hey.
be. I'm fine with being the bait.
Is that drill thing, that's still up and running, right? Is that still under
No,
plus
that
watch?
It
That's
exploded?
got
Yeah, it got blown up.
I shot it.
Right, I remember now.
Who do you want? Who do you want out of the game?
Got
I
excited
can
for a
see.
minute,
I
never
can,
mind.
I can come up.
This
with
is your job. I'm just saying. You're probably if you're gonna want some, it's gonna be a hard sell to get anyone to be bait for an operation like this.
I mean, I'm willing to be bait. If anyone wants to bait, well, not even bait, just
Someone wants to do a side job.
Yeah, ideally it's not even bait. It's more like a distractor that also gets some profit.
They're all just kind of waiting on your choice here.
okay. Pest seemed a little bit. No, no. Okay, who out of them seemed like kind of like most iffy on robbing 3 banks at the same time?
Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck seems the most iffy.
Yeah, but if she's gonna do it, she wants to be there.
She wants to be on bank duty, but she's worried about what it seems is she's worried about the overall backlash.
Yeah.
That that it's going to get some really big backlash against the villain community. It's going to cause escalation. Seems to be her big issue. Not necessarily she doesn't seem in any way hesitant that she could rob a bank even just on her own without much issue.
Yeah. I mean, we need a way to get it done fast and be gone before people really figured it out. And somewhere nice to wait it out until people just chopped it up as a loss.
Okay. Well,
But most importantly, day of, we need to go in, do it, be gone as rapidly as possible. Every team needs to be set up so they can be as fast as possible as a group.
hey, so let's say we have 24 hours to get ready. Does that seem reasonable?
Sure.
Okay, I've got a plan. Gold, you and me, or just you go into the banks. Just study them. Tell us what we can use. Because you can feed us information on how stuff works, right?
I guess. Could I do that?
Yeah, you could get some information. You haven't really ever tried to a lot of what you know and what you get is overlay information, so it's hard to articulate for other people. Because when someone for example, if you were trying to dodge from someone, you would see a cone of slowly where their fist could move until so it's hard to express that to other people with there's a cone in front of you that's you know what I mean. So you're better at operating on your own.
Yeah.
So it's something you could do. You could probably get some vague information, but yeah,
I mean,
you're going to be more useful in the field than
yeah.
doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it'd be better if maybe I study whatever bank I'm gonna hit, and then I'd be good for going in and crashing the security system or something. I don't really know how to explain what I get to other people.
I can slurp around through the vents of places a little, see what I can't figure out. Someone can put me on a roof somewhere. I can just get into the circulation.
Okay, so every team kind of needs someone to be flashy, someone to get in, and someone to get shit out, right? Pez, what do you do?
Can you get people in?
Do you get people in? Do you get yourself out?
I can make it really annoying for people to fight.
Perfect.
Getting out.
Okay.
You're getting out.
I mean, yeah, I don't move fast or anything like that, but basically, if I make little pests and they fuck with people.
That sounds great.
If
Yeah.
we can slow down the people who would be chasing us plenty, then we don't need to be as
I
fast.
can make it hard for them to fucking see you. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
your group doesn't
Okay,
need to
so
be as physically fast necessarily.
Okay, so we need someone with kind of panache to be. So what about Gold, Pest, and Thunderstruck?
Thunderstruck's Gold does what exactly?
Studies things.
Study shit and like thinker. I know things about things, and then I use that. I guess.
Knows how things work.
I was a thief as a civilian, so like I know computers and crashing security systems, shit like that.
Okay. Sure. All right. Yeah, that sounds like a fine plan.
Cool. So that's one team.
All right.
Well, we want to make sure that all of us are able to do something.
All right. Team 2, we need a flash kind of our panache should definitely for the second team be Philosopher King, right? It's well known.
Does that feel like something you want to do, Philosopher King?
Or maybe War Crimes.
They both kind of just look at each other. Well, which is it?
But why not one for each team?
Yeah.
We have Flash for each team then.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think who would. Do you? It's up to you, Phosphor. Do you want to work with War Crimes? Do you want to work with Philosopher King?
Honestly, I'd be fine either way. I mean, I got a pretty distinct look myself, but the stuff I'm going to be doing isn't really going to be conducive to me being center stage, I feel like. So, I feel like my style might fit. Actually, hot take. Philosopher King, have you been exposed to War Crimes' power before?
Nope.
Shit, never mind then.
I've been exposed to enough stuff similar to it that it won't matter.
Okay. That could be something useful.
That's
War Crimes can lay
pretty
down
beneficial.
suppression while you and whoever else make it out. You won't have to worry so much about getting altered by getting hit by War Crimes' effect.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Are you two alright being on the same team?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright.
I
So
guess
that leaves.
Team 3, either
You can kind of hear people talking in the background about Philosopher King in the bunker.
Okay.
What's the conversation about?
Yeah. What are they saying?
Give me a wits roll.
Do.
Hey, may I as well?
You're not
You're
there.
not-
You're listening to them over conference call.
Right. Best we would hear like.
Could this be scrutinized or is this?
This is different. This
Okay.
is not. Yeah, this ain't getting scrutinized.
That's why I was asking.
Fine.
5. So yeah, you're hearing Pest talk a little bit with Totem Pole, and they seem to kind of have a not so good opinion of Philosopher King. Mainly the word that you hear Totem Pole throw around is fascist, but you're not 100% sure on that.
Oh, okay. No, I definitely got those vibes. Like if you're, I'm just saying, if you're dressing up as a Greek philosopher in the 21st century, you're probably using that to denote some sort of fascism.
Well, I don't know. That at least seems to be Totem Pole's read. You get the sense that Pest doesn't agree as much, but doesn't know the guy as well. He seems to have interacted with him, but the general tone is like Totem Pole's like, kind of talking him down, and Pest is kind of like, yeah, whatever. And I don't, yeah, it'd be just something to keep on your radar at the very least. But Philosopher King doesn't seem to have any particular animus with War Crimes, who you know is black, so there doesn't seem to be anything obvious there. You haven't seen there any weird interactions.
Okay.
So maybe some whack ideology kept personal, or at least just not overtly racist.
Okay. Well, I don't know. That seems like an effective team, though. So that's probably a team.
I think that works out.
Yeah, I mean, as long as long as they're not with people, he's not with people with the bunker. That's probably not.
Who's the third person on the team?
That could be me.
I was thinking it would be you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then I'm with Restless Funhouse. 2 of Restless Funhouse and Vigor.
It'd be Restless Funhouse you.
I like that. We don't know much about Vigor.
Vigor is kind of.
Vigor has a giant muscled form that she also has minions that occasionally you've seen with similar growths.
Got it.
And she carries that giant ballista.
So I'm going to say that.
Which means that would leave. Who are we not using right now?
At the
Me
moment-
and Restless.
Have we
I
put
think
Funhouse
we
anywhere?
want Restless though.
You want Restless?
I want Restless because
want
we
Ralph?
want someone that's able
Instead
to
of-
move quickly. I'd rather have
We
that
also
than
need someone
Vigor.
who can move sort of quick. I can do kind of similar to you. I have like a committed action for 45 feet movement,
Which is fast, but it's honestly not going to help you
Yeah.
evade serious movers.
yeah. Funhouse can help obstruct, so Funhouse might be a good addition to this team, unless we find another way of transport for us. Vigor, giving off like solid brute and master vibes is what we're going for.
Who?
Vigor.
Yeah, Vigor definitely gives off Master and Brute vibes.
Okay. Funhouse.
Or
has
maybe
Vigor.
Trump, depending on exactly how it mechanically works.
Got it.
I mean, we could just have one team of 4.
Yeah, we're just trying to decide who to put as the 4th person and which one.
Remember that the more people you have, the more money you have to divvy up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this team I think is pretty well put together as far as like balance between like all the relevant things. Right here we've got like a good way to get out, a good face and good infiltration, but not so much like moving. There's not really any moving things going on here. At least that I know about, unless War Crimes or Philosopher King have some secret mover power.
They both shake their head. Nah. A car is always a good option, though.
Cars
There's
are
no
good.
reason we couldn't. No reason we couldn't get a car. And if any of these, that if you're willing to pay, we could probably hire some people from the refugee camps to help out.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. We can work with that. Probably get something nice, heavy, but still quick on its feet.
Cars aren't
Most
hard
of
to
them
come
might be
by
better
if you're willing to make the initial investment. Heck, I'm sure we can find something.
I would go sing that. Yeah. All right. So we got MVP with Vigor, and Funhouse.
Funhouse seems like a great thing because we'd be able to trap people in.
Funhouse can help you. Yeah, Funhouse can help you field people, hurt people around. We've already got War Crimes to help out with that. I can do a little bit of that myself.
Yeah, and we've got I think the escape pushers are War Crimes, Pest, and Funhouse.
Okay.
The get in voices are myself, Philosopher King, and Thunderstruck.
Yeah.
And the
Gold, myself, and I guess Vigor are more of the early stage infiltration through whatever means that is ideal. Vigor, does that work for you? Does that sound like something you're going to be able to do?
that's why I wanted Restless, I think.
Okay.
Having a changer for that.
All right. Yeah. Is everyone all right with that?
Is that okay, Vigor?
How would people
I'm
feel?
sorry.
Sorry, repeat that real quick.
I want Restless instead of Vigor because we need someone that's better for infiltration.
Restless says, I'm not sure I'm better for infiltration.
Okay. Would you feel like you'd be better at that, Vigor? Something that you could do?
I am not, she says,
We
you've
don't-
seen me when I'm bulked up, I'm carrying a freaking ballista. Nah, infiltration is not going to be that team's strong suit.
No,
that
whatever
could,
it is.
That could be team smash and grab. Do you think you could muscle your way in pretty well?
We could smash and grab.
Vigor's like, smash and grab was our other team name.
Great. Yeah, as long as you can get into the vault quickly and just scoop as much shit as you want out, get all the cash drawers fast.
I'm bringing my mercs, though.
Yeah, no, they can help.
I'll need a little bit extra to pay them.
That can be arranged.
Alright.
Do they have a standard rate or?
I'll figure it out. They'll be fine with it.
Yeah.
As long as we don't lose any of them, I think they will be good. She kind of looks over at the mercenaries, that she's with, and they kind of nod.
How many?
Restless.
How many mercenaries?
4.
Restless and I can probably just go off and do something distracting.
Restless, does that check out? You good with that?
Look, I'm fast. If you're gonna pay me to be a distraction, I can do that. No problem.
You said it was
Yeah.
even split, right?
Yeah, as long as it's an even split, I'm good.
The other
Alright.
thing you should do is, if you are fast enough, we could have the banks be somewhat close, and you could be if we need reinforcements.
Well, what banks are we hitting?
Well, let's look at the banks of Flagstaff.
Both of you open up
Mhm.
Google Maps. You can also just turn around.
Oh man, look at that! It's 3 banks, real close to each other.
That star there, though, is the local police department and PRT headquarters.
Let's look up. Go along Route 40 up, because I see where you are.
There's that other
We do
one
not
there.
want a quick response from the PRT at all.
No. Yeah, northeast up here, right on.
Look up there.
So you're looking.
So these are the
you're looking here. I'm looking at here.
Up here.
There's also the National Bank of Arizona.
These are the major ones. These are the ones. So there might be some other locations you can find by researching, but these are the ones that are going to have enough. So the issue is most banks don't carry a whole lot in terms of just straight cash. So this is going to
Bonds
the
and
one
stuff.
off to the right is
Well, a
the
lot of it's
National Bank of
electronic.
Arizona.
Yeah.
National Bank of Arizona up to the right.
Yep.
This one up here.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Actually, yeah.
So
Do
yeah.
you need to hire a dipper for this?
oh what?
Someone to work the electronic end of things, someone to get into computers, and you can do that, right?
That's me.
Can you siphon money through the computer? Is that an option for you?
Does that sound like something I would be able to do?
So yeah. So transferring electronic funds is something that is doable to someone who is not only a very experienced hacker. Yeah, you need to be a very experienced hacker to kind of do that.
Yeah.
This
too
one
bad
could
we lost
probably do
Shabert.
it. It might double. Yeah, it could potentially up to double how much you're able to get.
Mhm.
But it's something that it's glass cash. If anyone if something doesn't go exactly right,
Mhm.
all the codes are traced and it's all just, and whatever bank account you send it to is blacked out unless you're sending it somewhere like overseas and something like, unless you're doing some really sketchy money shit. It's one of those things where either everything goes exactly right or you get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Wait.
But you could potentially double how much you could potentially get the exact same.
Old shit, right?
Yeah,
We have the shovel.
you have the shovel,
No, no.
but
What I'm asking is, does Shabadu have like info on, say, a bank account set in Japan?
Oh my god.
a few of
Shabbat
you,
is
more than a few of you probably have, Gold, you probably have access to people who could, ways to launder money. Like, a lot of the villains here, like the dedicated villains, probably have money laundering things. Like, War Crimes is like, I have some, look, if we get enough money, we could just, freaking call the number man and have him do it for us.
The number man?
Yeah, he's like a thinker who does villain transactions. You can pay him a little bit and he'll organize your money for you.
Never.
It'd probably be a pretty big thing, but if we're all willing to do it and we are it's probably not worth it if we're only going to electronically steal money from one bank. But if we're going to electronically steal from all of them, it might be worth hiring the guy.
Is there a
alright.
gadget that
Electronically stealing?
you can?
Maybe that's what I'll ask my friends about, is getting us someone
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
each team, or
Yeah.
tools
Just-
for each team.
Two people.
2 people.
So one for Team B and one for Team C to go along.
Yeah.
And,
And
do
we
that
give,
because we have gold for Team A.
And we give Gold like a laptop that he can use to siphon off from all three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll talk to my
Talk to
sponsor.
your sponsors. See what you can get. All right, that sounds good. So the plan, as it stands, is to hit
Mhm.
the Arizona National Bank up there.
There's a Wells Fargo a little bit north of there, right up here.
Okay, so you can hit the banks up. So you can hit the banks more up there.
Yeah, and
All right.
then there's a third one that I saw that was pretty close to that, and there's a centralized somewhat area where
Or is it the first choice?
uh,
Oh, no, it's available on place. Never mind.
Okay.
I was looking.
Well, so
There's a Chase further up north, along this road.
Oh, yep. Chase, Wells Fargo. Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, I totally know
So
how
you
to.
got Chase, a Wells Fargo
Okay,
over here,
uh,
and the Arizona National Bank.
Perfect.
Which
Out of character.
Mhm.
I've got a really good idea to distract the PRT.
Mhm.
Anonymous tip: a kid's been kidnapped.
Yes.
That would get
so-
me really hot water.
So something that that War Crimes brings up is, so our best getaway location from there is the frat house, though. Otherwise, we have to book it right past the PRT and the police to the Citadel. And it's a trek to the bunker. It'd be way easier for them to call Phoenix and have someone swoop our way on us onto the bunker. Thunderstruck's like, I don't believe that. I mean, the frat house, I can definitely see being the closest location to get to, but
I'd rather
yeah,
we-
I think we could do the bunker instead of Citadel.
I think we should do the bunker.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at War Crimes, who knows what the stealing thing is for, because we.
Yeah, you sure we can't just hit? God, the frat. Yeah, that's gonna be the nightmarish thing. Is we have all these people moving.
Mhm.
We're gonna have to keep the money. He kind of is like, look, I trust Philosopher and Funhouse, but I don't know these bunker people too well. I don't know what they're gonna do with this fucking cash. Jesus Christ.
I'm leaving those categories around the safe houses too. We've got time to prepare, right?
I don't want.
Well, we got to figure that out sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the most important steps, I would say.
Thunderstruck kind of, makes a sound of agreement and nods on your end. You can see that.
Mhm.
All right. Well, those are the teams.
Mhm.
That's our plan. We'll need to scout the locations and figure out what our exact moves are on each one. So, how many? When do we want? We're probably going to need at least a couple days.
Like tomorrow is scouting. Next day is work.
We're doing this the day after next.
The sooner we do it, the less time there is for someone to get word of it before we do it.
Give me a social roll to sell that. That's a good
I like that
point.
one.
That's a good point, but you're definitely going to get some pushback if people don't have that much time.
Yeah, no bonuses. It's 4.
Late. I'm going to do it late on the second day.
That's fine.
Yep.
All right.
Honestly, after hours wouldn't necessarily be the worst.
It's not as flashy. I'd
True.
be more interested in, Philosopher King kind of nods. Yeah, it'd be better to go in a day if we really want to bump our
Right at
rankings up.
closing.
Yeah.
Right, closer.
Yeah.
Closing.
Okay, fine.
It'll be a Friday, right? People gotta cash their checks.
All right, nice. Let's do that then. Okay, so with that in mind,
Mhm.
I'm gonna need some bank maps.
Yeah. Yeah. You might need some time to.
Let's take a pause here and real quick and discuss some stuff.
Okay.
Cue up the music.
We still have an hour and a half.
Weaverdice Flagstaff will return.